guys, Ken here, your Thrifty apprentice, and welcome to the channel's version of A Crafty Corner. In today's video, we are going to be creating these very whimsical tiered index card junk journals. You heard it right, tiered index card junk journals. We are going to be making the base and a lot of the pages and additions to the journal out of index cards. So I recently acquired many stacks of index cards in these primary colors. Although this is pink and not red, still in the same family. So I had a red, a yellow, and a blue. And it struck me, why not make a journal out of these cards? I also had in mind of making a small covered journal, which was an inspiration I picked up by, or from, should I say, Natasha over at Treasure Books. Of course, you guys have heard me speak of her before, and she comes up with wonderful, brilliant ideas for junk journals. And this journal is based off inspiration I received from her, where she did miniature covers for a regular size junk journal. So I thought to incorporate the miniature cover for a regular size junk journal into my index card cover idea, using index cards as the base. I do believe she used like chipboard, cardstock, and fabric. So did want to definitely take it in a completely different direction. And this is what I came up with. We have strawberry shortcake, blueberry crumble, and banana split. Now, let me show you how I made them with inspiration from Natasha at Treasure Books. Okay, I'm going to start with the cover. Now, Natasha used chipboard, and which she covered with fabric, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted to use index cards, and because my index cards are really flimsy, I need to bind two of them together. And I do want to keep the integrity of the index cards, so I want to bind them with the writing side facing the back of the second one, and this will be the inside, just for writing room if you wanted to, on the cover. Okay, and then we're gonna back the cover with this pattern paper that I made. I just dyed it with yellow watercolor, and then I sprinkled green and magenta watercolor paint on it. And that's what we're going to use to actually back as the backing for the cover. Maybe I won't sew in this one, just because I know everybody doesn't have a sewing machine. And we are using, and this is one we're using PVA glue. That's where we're going to start. Then we'll fold it in half. And then I'm going to use a little PVA wet glue here. And I will be utilizing the little trick I told you guys about. This is just big enough to run through the lamination machine, which I've already turned on so it can heat up. And if you guys remember, I told you when you're using this type of wet water-based glue, if the object is big, just so long as it's not too big, if you run it through the machine, it'll actually help quick set that glue. Join it together across the top. Make sure it's even. I'm gonna grab my brayer. I'll run it through the machine really quickly. Yeah, I ran it through twice. As you can see, it is bone dry and ready to go. Let's put glue on this. Put a PVA glue. I'm gonna place this down, trying to keep it lined up and even with the edge of my paper. I'm going to roll this, and if this gets inky, I don't care, because we're going to ink it anyway. And here we have the cover, and that's going to be the inside of the cover. You guys are going to see it all come together, I promise. Now, this is wet. I would normally press it under something, but of course I'm just gonna run it through the machine really quickly. Make sure the edges are pressed down really well so nothing grabs. Now that it's dry, I want to score it in the middle and fold it in half. As you can see, I've scored it. Now, I'm going to take my water bottle and I'm going to hold it back and I'm going to spritz the score line on the front and on the back. Now, make sure you hold your bottle back far when you do that. Now, what that's going to help do is help the paper fibers kind of bend into this score line without cracking your paper. I could have done it when it was wet, but the reason I didn't do it when it was like wet from the glue is because I didn't want to give the papers time to shift. You know, papers don't like being forced into shape and they'll shift. So to prevent the shifting of all those layers that I had glued together, I waited until it was dry and just lightly missed the area that I wanted to fold, just to help the paper, you know, fold without cracking down the crease. I had to learn that trick. I had to go do some research to learn that trick because I had a lot of pattern papers that was cracking on me. Now I want to decorate the cover, and I am going to be backing that backing with a piece of pattern paper. This is I'm sorry, this is a DigiKit print. This is a DigiKit by Pam at the Paper Outpost. I'm just gonna start tearing down this side because I want to keep as much of the page as I can. I'm going to ink the edges. I am going to sew around this paper and then glue it to the cover across the crease. Yes, we will be actually folding that paper as well. And then I will sew around the edge. I'm going to sew around the edge of the cover first, just to make sure I lock all those in place. If you are just gluing, just make sure you put enough adhesive on there for your cover to hold. Be sure that if you're not using a lamination machine to quickly dry it, press it under something heavy for a couple of hours. Let it completely dry so that you get a good bond. Okay, so here I have sewn around the edges of the cover, and I decided not to sew around the edge of the paper that I was putting down. I just inked, glued it down, made sure to get the crease bent, and I did go ahead and fold this while the glue was still wet, so that there will be less chance for the paper to crack along that folded seam. Now, as you can see, it's dry. It's still, you know, it's not as flat as it could possibly be. So once I'm done with the cover completely, more than likely I'm going to put it under something heavy for a night or so it can flatten out completely. But let's move on. So now what we want to do is actually decorate the cover. Now, there are many different ways you can do this. You guys know I always try to give you several ideas and options, and encourage you to kind of run with the ideas and make it your own. So before I show you what I'm going to actually be doing to decorate my cover, I'm going to show you some other ideas. Now, you can use several different things. First here I have like, and this doesn't match, but this is just to give you an idea. And also keep in mind that everything you design does not necessarily have to be matchy, right? So here is just this little flower I made. It's a flower on a circle and a brad, basically, to give you this sort of flower feel or motif. Now, of course, this one is a bit big, but you could use something as simple as that. You can use something like, say, a die cut that already has wording on it. Maybe you want a die cut that has a little bit more color to it. Or maybe you're going to make it out of pattern paper. Or maybe you're going to make it out of one of your gel prints or something that you've personally designed yourself. Pre-made book plates. I always pre-make book plates just to have them in different sizes for different things. These were some that were made and then laminated. So here I just have like this cute couple of birds here on a branch. And that's just a sticker on a file folder on a piece of pattern paper that's laminated. You can use a bigger book plate, one that's not laminated. Here I just have a file folder with a book page and a butterfly on top. See, very easy. Now it covers more than anything else, but I just want to give you guys some good ideas. Here's what I'm going to be doing. I have a piece of ephemera or a focal image here that is made from one of my original paintings. If you follow the channel, you may remember me painting this a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so ago. I just took that painting and scanned it in to reduce the size and make it ephemera. And then I cut that out to be my focal image. I'm going to throw a couple of different things behind it to accent it. I've got some of these antique yellow orangey flower clear stickers that I thought that's gonna add a really nice element. Love that kind of popping out and peeking out from behind there. I have a sort of a sundial die cut that I'm going to be adding to the front, just there in the lower corner. And then on top of that, I'm actually going to be gluing another one of these antique yellow dried brownish flowers just there for a little bit more emphasis. With the journal cover now finished and everything adhered down, I am going to press this under something flat, something heavy, in order to make sure that it's flat and that all of the glue dries in here. Keep in mind that this is a little bit too bulky for me to run through the lamination machine. So I'll have to dry this the old-fashioned way. Put something heavy and then give it time to dry. In the meantime, I want to work on the signature cover. So the signature cover is easy. It just really requires one measurement, and that's you knowing what the size of the very first page in your signature is going to be. With this being a tiered journal, meaning that the first 3 things you see will be tiered on top of each other from the cover, we want to make sure that what we've selected for our signature cover is bigger than our cover, but smaller than the signature. So we're actually I'm gonna go ahead and fold this in half. Then using the first page, or the example first page for my signature, I would insert it in. I would insert my cover over the outer end. And now what I want to do is I would want to trim away enough paper to give me cover, then signature cover, it's solid yellow, and then the next thing you see behind that above it would be the first page of the signature. So let me show you what I mean. And here we are with my signature cover cut down. So let me show you what it would look like. I would take the signature cover, I would insert it on top of the signature itself after we have the signature made. Then I would insert the cover on top, giving me my 3 tiers, just like that. And that's pretty much how the cover is going to look, minus the other embellishments and decorations that I'm going to do to it. I've simply chosen another piece of the script ledger pattern paper from the same DigiKit that I got, that this particular pattern paper was printed from. Like I said, I'm trying to use up a lot of the stuff that I have in back stock. Just go ahead and get it used. I'm probably just going to take the center portion of the writing, remove it from the pattern paper, and that'll become the center. I'll put it here, and of course I'll leave some border showing around so that you'll be able to see the yellow. This is what our signature cover is going to look like with the pattern paper adhered down to it. I'll press this under a book, and here we have the pages for our signature. I've chosen watercolor and splatter dyed paper, tea dyed paper, coffee dyed stationery paper, regular white paper, and then of course, keeping the integrity of the index card journal that we actually make, we're going to be using index cards as part of the signature as well. So I'll simply fold all of these in half and fit them inside each other. Now we have our signature pages folded, fitted inside each other, ready to go for binding. And what I want to do is just trim the excess off past the first page of the signature, just to make it all even. Or If you want to, you can actually leave it that way. Due to the fact that you have a small cover and signature cover, it's not going to come out as far as the end of the page anyway. So if you want to leave that extra, you can. Me, I'm going to trim everything up evenly right to the end of that first signature page. Afterwards, this will be the point where we do all of our pre-binding decoration. So any stamping, any stenciling, any stickering, any painting, anything that you need to do that you feel would be difficult to do effectively once the journal is bound, you want to do that prior to binding the journal. Now, I'm finished with decorating my signature. I've done all of my stamping and stenciling, but in this case, just stenciling. And it's time to actually bind everything together, which will give me the opportunity to finish decorating my cover. So for my binding, I will be using a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I've got some yellow embroidery floss already threaded through my needle, and I'm going to be using an awl to punch my holes. Now, when I get ready to punch my holes, I want to make sure that I insert one directly in the middle, another one just at the top of the cover, and a third just at the bottom. You want to make sure that you punch all 3 of your holes through the actual cover. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. And I'll actually leave my awl there to hold everything together for the second. Now I'm going to grab my needle and I'll start to do my pamphlet stitch. Now I'll just make sure that everything is tight. My bridge has been created with 1 string on the side of the middle thread and 1 string on the opposite side. I'll tie it off. I'll tie a bow. And now my signature is bound. Work in your pages. And there we have our bound index card tiered junk journal. I think it's pretty neat. So at this point, I want to go through and do all of the rest of my decorations. After we get through, I'll be more than happy to come back and do a flip through of this one, and we'll take a closer look at all of the other journals. If you were just here to see the construction, thank you guys so very much for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you on our next video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the content bell, and go ahead and give the video a thumbs up before you leave. For those who would like to see the flip through, I'm going to finish doing the full decoration of the inside of the junk journal, and then we'll take a look at all 3 of our primary color index card tiered junk journals inspired by Natasha. All right, here we are, and we are ready for a complete flip through to see what these journals look like. I'm so happy to be presenting these to you. I've taken a lot of time to work on this video, although it may not seem like it from how sporadic the editing was. But I did really work really hard on these. I'm so happy to be sharing them with you. So let's just do a really quick flip through. The very first one I made was the red one, but since we made yellow or banana split on camera with you today, let's just take a look. All of the journals are pretty much decorated exactly the same. They have a simple ribbon closure so that the journal itself can grow. Now, when you first construct your journal, especially if it's fresh and new, it's gonna need some time to be worked into being flat. So you can lay it under something heavy, or you can just know that it will flatten out over time. So here is the cover that I decorated, if you guys remember. I did get everything adhered down, added a rhinestone for a little pizzazz. We do open up, and I did want to definitely keep the integrity of the index card on the inside cover of each journal. So you will find that on both the front and the back cover. The signature cover itself is done with pattern paper. This is from DigiKit that I received, that I purchased from Pam over at the Paper Outpost off of Etsy. I actually use a lot of her DigiKit ephemera throughout some of these journals just because I'm trying to go ahead and use it up. Here I have some embellishment of these beautiful like gold foil puffy 3D flowers, which came from the Dollar Tree. A door which was cut from simple mixed media black cardstock. And you can see I do have that on all 3 journals. Inside the cover, you're going to find a beautifully embellished tag. This is just the output of magazine, and put it on a tag, take the risk, put a little, now I actually made that backing paper with a stamp and an eraser. So just a little journaling card. It lives right there inside that front pocket. Here, we just had an embellished page, and you're gonna have an embellished page right behind the signature cover of each one of the journals. This one was just done so that it would correlate and the eye would flow across that complete spread. You can add a pocket there if you would like. You can add a tuck there. You can paper clip things to this page. That would be absolutely beautiful. Moving on, we're just gonna have plenty of journaling spaces throughout the journals. Here, there is this heart embellishment. This heart embellishment is made from an original painting that has had the hearts cut out, inking, and glued down there for some pizzazz on that page. That was actually a really nice painting. I enjoyed doing that one many years ago, many years ago. So that's how you can specialize and customize your journals as you go along. Next, we have coffee dyed, and we're going to have stenciling throughout. We have coffee dyed stationery paper that I got from the off shop. Beautiful little tag, which is actually a paper clip meant to hold down your papers, and you can clip it throughout your journals at any spot that you want to. Just made from a craft tag, which I stamped ink writing on the back. Put down a nice sticker, made a little button embellishment there. And this is actually, it's hidden. I can't show it to you guys, but it's like a brad, but it's like a staple. I would have to grab them to show them to you guys. But that does live there inside the journal. Now that can be moved around from space to space, and I do kind of recommend it because that can make the journal a little bulky. So I did place them here, but placing them at the front of the journal would be a better idea unless you're actually using it as a bookmark or a page mark. Let's move on. Next, you're gonna have embellishment throughout the book, on side of all of your writing space. I have the Garden Galore ephemera from another DigiKit from Pam over at the Paper Outpost throughout this journal. We have this beautiful lace fabric strip to embellish the edge of the paper. And then we'll actually come to the middle of the signature, which in the other journals, there is a expandable flap here for extra journaling spot. I did not add that to this particular journal, so that is probably one of the few minor differences between the 3. We're going to keep moving. Here we have this beautiful L tuck made from some nice antique ephemera with a journaling card. Tucked inside that is actually made from the index card that the journal is made from. All right, going to move on. You're going to see, like I said, embellishment throughout the entire journal. Just a little bit here and there to add a little bit of class and pizzazz, but still not taken away from any of the writing on it. Next, we're going to come across signatures. Signatures are made from the actual index cards as well. Here we just have this beautiful little journaling tag made from the index card that actually opens to allow you to journal on the inside. And that just lives right on top of the index card page. So again, I wanted to try to keep as much of the index card integrity throughout the entire journal. The back part, more writing, more journaling. Here we're gonna have over the page bookmark that is actually a journaling spot. If you flip it over, you'll see the front of it, which is attached to tape, a little tuck, and a journaling card. So let's just break this down. Here we have a journaling card, it's just a sunflower, just more writing space, drawing space. Keep in mind, my junk journals can actually be drawn in, and some of the pages, depending on what type of paper is bound in there, can even take water-soluble products. But that journaling card just fits inside this little L tuck that was here. There is the bookmark across the top of the page, which again is a journaling spot for you to do plenty of journaling, including on the back. I just kind of took a stamp and stamped over the logo that was on the back of this card. Took a ruler and drew lines 1/4 inch apart in order to give you some journaling space. Inked around, and you never know it didn't come that way. Plenty of journaling space on the inside, and it can fit at the top, on the side, or from the bottom of any page as a bookmark. Really, really cool. Really like these. I made a lot of these when I made them. I make a lot of the ephemera and just keep it in like boxes and bags so that I can quickly embellish my journals as we make them together. Flipping on over, you're gonna come to a page that has a little fabric and paper cluster here just for extra embellishments. I've started to leave a lot of strings. I love the string look whenever there is a little bit of like sewing notion thrown into the journals. Flipping on over, we're gonna come to the back of the signature cover, which inside the back signature cover, you're gonna get this cute little journaling card. I know the chicken peeps, don't laugh, it's so cute. I love it, I love it, love it, love it. Beautiful little journaling card there. And then here is this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous decoupage envelope that is made, as you can see, from the actual index card for you to fit ephemera, for you to fit stickers, whatever you need to put in there. Is that not gorgeous? Now that was just the index card, which I did some stenciling on, and then decoupaged a napkin with gold foiling on top. Very, very pretty. Sewed around the edges with a zigzag stitch, and it's really, really effective. And you also have extra storage space there. We'll just tuck those back in, and then we'll be flipping over to the back of the journal. And there you have it, my friends. That is my index card tiered junk journal. Let's just set that to the side, and we're quickly gonna zoom through the other two just so you can see. They're very, very similar. I just want you guys to see what they look like. And then afterwards, I'm gonna be bagging these up and boxing these up for some Thrifty bundle boxes I'm putting together for the Etsy shop. So here's the front of the red journal. As you can see, just took some ephemera and built a collage on the front along with a little clear sticker of a flower. You're gonna flip to the inside, and again, you're still keeping the same integrity. It's pretty much constructed exactly the same way. So here we have the signature page, which has been decorated, a door. These little cute glittery butterflies came from the same place the little yellow chicken peep in the egg that you saw on the yellow journaling card. Flipping on over, on the inside again, we're running to a pocket that has a journaling card with a magazine offcut for journaling on the back. And beautiful paging, which you can do whatever you want to do. You can turn into pockets, you can put L's, tucks there. I did just kind of leave that page open for interpretation. Moving on inside, you're going to get the same beautiful journaling space, except for this one is going to be leaning more towards red and pink than the yellow was. Same embellishments on each page, pretty much throughout. Your stationery paper, the paper clip here on top of journaling card, index card page. Can't talk all of a sudden. Embellishments throughout the journal. Here you're gonna have matching lace sewn down that page. And here is where I was telling you guys, in the middle of the red and blue, there's actually a little flip out for more journaling space. The yellow one is the only one that doesn't include that little addition, but it's the only major difference between the journals. Then we're going to keep going. We have our little L tuck with a beautiful journaling card that has been made from the index card. All right. Again, we run across a index card page that has a index card tag to it that is able to be opened and journaled throughout and on the back. That just lives right there. Okay, we're almost done, guys. And then same thing. I'm not gonna pour that out. You guys know what it looks like. Same over the page paper clip, little L tuck journaling card. This time butterflies instead of the sunflower. Gonna flip it over to the back where you're gonna get your angel journaling card. This one has a little glittery felt heart for the pull on the top of the journaling card. And then of course you're gonna get your pink journaling card decoupaged envelope in this one. I really love these. I'm gonna probably do a video showing you guys how to do these. This is probably gonna be a video. I'm gonna make a lot of those, and then I wanna show you guys how to make them. So kind of stay tuned for that. I'll do some decorating on a lot of them as well. And then that ends the red journal. I'll set that to the side, and we'll flip through the blue really quickly. Really quickly. All right, so there, original art on the cover of this one as well. I love using my original art on journals, throughout journals. That way, not only can I get my journal work out, I can get my original artwork out as well. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Flips into same exact theme. We're just gonna do a really quick run through because we're doing the same exact things here. Journaling tag on the inside there. Everything is blue leaning in this one. Plenty of journaling space, plenty of embellishments, plenty of stenciling. There is your bookmark paper clip again on top of index card page. More embellishing throughout the journal. Here, your fabric strip here for this page embellishment is actually blue offcut. This is the button strip, the lapel of a shirt. More stenciling. We're going to come to the middle of the journal, which has that little flip out for extra journaling space. We'll keep going. Here we have the L tuck artist material. Love these little L tucks that I made in these. And this, of course, has the journaling card, which is the blue in this one. That's from that DigiKit, that Garden Lore DigiKit from Pam. Pam actually has some really good DigiKits, guys. I don't really buy DigiKits a lot, but hers are really reasonable. I never pay a lot for them. I've never paid over $2 for any of the DigiKits, and they all have come in really handy. Not that I buy many of them because I don't really like to print. You guys know I like to create my own ephemera from my own artwork. But Pam is one person that I do actually buy her DigiKits and support. So here we have more embellishment. We're just gonna have like different embellishments throughout. We'll come across the back of the index card signature page, which again is gonna have the index opening tag. I love these. These are so cute to me. And they're so simple to make, so simple. Hopefully you guys are getting some ideas from this. Although it's just different color schemes, sort of the same idea in each journal. Here you're gonna come across the same page, journaling tag, tuck, L tuck, all of that. Of course, you guys know there's a journaling tag bookmark there. We'll flip over to our fabric and pattern swatch here. Love that one. You guys see what the red one, I don't know if I really said anything about the red one in there. That's what the red one looks like for the red journal. Okay, and then we'll flip over to the back of this one, which we're gonna again have us a nice little beautiful journaling card there, and the blue decoupage index card envelope. Yep, definitely doing a lot of these, and gonna do a video on them. That's gonna come up soon. So you guys stay tuned for that. All right, guys, there you go. There's the quick flip through. Sorry if this video was a little sporadic, but I mean, I kind of rush to put it together. I was kind of low on time, but there you have it, guys. Hopefully you saw something in this video you like, a tip, a trick, a technique, an idea. If anything popped out at you that you saw interesting or liked in any shape, form, or fashion, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. It's going to really help the channel grow. Don't forget to hit us up on all the social media sites. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. The video description is full of useful links. Don't forget that you can visit the Etsy shop, the Facebook group, and the most recommended list of supplies. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. Thank Natasha for this beautiful inspiration that helped lead to me making these journals. And as I tell you guys at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.